Well, hello there and welcome back to a brand new video where today's video, guys, is super exciting because SquidgeRugby has just released a video talking about Rugby 24, and he's actually done a video about the behind the scenes with him screening, kind of like taking videos, pictures of players and himself in essentially being in the Rugby 24 game, but as well as having a bit of a conversation with the CEO of Big Ant Studios, and I believe he's also the owner. It's interesting is the fact it's kind of our first glimpse in terms of like an interview with Ross Sinnams, but also, you know, a great idea and a great way for us to kind of get some more insider knowledge. And I haven't seen this video. I saw it on my timeline and I thought, you know what, why don't we watch it together, react, see what we get from this video, and kind of just have a little bit of discussion. So if you do want to check out the full video in full, there'll be a link in the description down below. I'm sure a lot of you guys already subscribed to SquidgeRugby, but I'll leave a link down below for you guys to check out the whole video. But basically, this is the video here. In the description, it basically says, after countless delays, Rugby 24 is finally nearing the finish line. During their recent adventure around the UK to scan every Premiership and URC club, we caught up with Ross and the team from Big Ant Studios. They also got an update on how the game's coming along and helped them solve one big problem, the crowd. So I'm excited, but I'm also excited that, you know, maybe do a video maybe reacting to the comments and all that stuff, which I think would be really, really cool. But anyway, without further ado, it's about 7 minutes long. I have my coffee, so let's click play and yeah, let's react. So here we go. Ooh.
It's a day rugby fans have dreamt of. Every September, as the artist formerly known as FIFA pours onto shelves and the ghost of John Madden.
So kind of showing us here some of the old school kind of rugby games.
Stare into the distance. Ever since International Rugby on the Mega Drive, have rugby fans dreamt the day where we could one day boot up our system, look at a player and go, oh yeah, that's Tom Roebuck. Well, developer Big Ant Studios and CEO Ross Simons are looking to make that...
Is it Ross Simons or Ross Sinnams? I always call him Ross Sinnams. Is that bad? Ross Simons.
Dream a reality. It's quite simple.
Let's go full screen as well.
Ongoing mission to create the most comprehensive homoerotic egg simulator ever made.
You know, I grew up playing rugby, so it's a real passion project for me.
And yet, if the game is going to be complete, if we're going to have the most realistic, complete rugby game at last, the one we've all dreamt of since the Mega Drive days, it's not enough to only have players. The game needs referees. The game needs ball boys. The game needs coaches. The game needs crowds. And that is where we come in. During their recent trip to San Juan Augustus, we caught up with Ross, Chidi and the team at Big Ant, chatted about the game and provided our services as boring faces to sit in the background during a match. Big Ant's trip to Northampton came 1 month into a likely 3-month tour of Europe. The team's still touring the UK and Europe to capture the likenesses of players from every club in the Premiership, URC and international competitions beyond. As Ross explains,
We're on the road. There's some we can talk about, some we can't talk about. We've done 9 nations, around 15 club sides so far.
Okay.
And we're looking like we're going to be on the road for the rest of the month.
wow, okay. So you're basically visiting one a day almost.
A day.
Wow, okay.
Edinburgh yesterday, driving 6 hours down.
That's
here
a
to
long
Northampton.
drive.
Well, we can't trust the airlines. They bang this stuff up. So it's just like when you're on the road, when we say you're on the road, you're on the road.
Which begs the question, how the heck do you scan and capture somebody's face and put it into a video game? How accurate is it? And are there any Tron-like side effects afterwards? Well, it turns out there's only one way to find out. So what's the experience here? So you'd come in, you'd sit down, and then what's actually happening when we're being scanned?
Essentially what happens is the cameras you see before you, it uses triangulation for light on the face.
Okay.
And it builds a 3D mesh, which we'll show you a bit later of yourself, actually. So, we build a 3D mesh using triangulation from the cameras, and then that gets put into a game. Now, the version you're going to see is a 5-minute snapshot.
Okay.
Over time, what we do is we normally take 3 days to 7 days to get a facing game.
3 to 7 days.
Yeah, just right. Our first capture was of New Zealand 18 months ago.
Wow. Okay.
Now the issue is, right, we've now captured England 3 times because there's always something. There's a World Cup. There's a Six Nations. So they don't give us access to the players, and that delays the game. We've got a reasonable game.
So nearly 18 months ago, they did kind of New Zealand, and if you go back here slightly, he talks about how they went to visit England, but did he say that they couldn't access the players?
So they don't give us access to the players.
Ah, they don't give them access to the players. So let's go back slightly.
There's a Six Nations. So
Actually, let's put on. Does the captions?
they don't give us access to the players.
I was about to say, put the captions on. They don't really work, do they? So they don't. So they've. Okay, so let's just go back quickly. Let's just go back here quickly. So he said something pretty interesting here.
England 18 months ago.
Wow. Okay.
18 months ago. Okay.
Now the issue is, right, we've now captured England 3 times.
So they've captured England 3 times. Okay.
There's always something. There's a World Cup. There's a Six Nations. So they don't give us access to the players.
They don't
And
give them access
that
to the
delays
players.
game. We've got a reasonable game that is reasonably well to play. I can't wait to get it to early access so people give us feedback. It's content. Because if we want to compete with NBA, where a kid goes in and gets every NBA player, or EAFC, where a kid goes in and gets every player, you can't explain to a kid, oh, it's a licensing issue.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
what do you mean? I just want.
Interesting. So it looks like here that Ross is trying to essentially, he wants to get rugby competing with the likes of EAFC, but also with rugby, which I think is really cool. I think it's a really cool ambition. So it's going to be interesting.
Want to play as my favourite guy.
However, with no favourite guy in sight, instead we'll have to settle for whoever this is, and whoever this face belongs to as well, for the results of the scan.
Okay.
That is too accurate.
The big reveal.
So this was filmed, that says the 18th of April. So this was filmed on the 18th of April, and today's date is the 14th. And I think this video came out, when was it? On the 13th. So this video came out yesterday. And yeah, so when they mentioned at the beginning, right? They mentioned at the beginning that they've been on the road for a month, and I think maybe 2 more months, I think. So end of April, end of May, end of June. I think this game could come out in July. Maybe with it on the road for 3 months. I think the game could come out in August. But anyway, let's continue.
The big reveal.
That is ridiculous. That is actually my face.
So go in and
Oh wow.
You can tell I didn't sleep very well last
That's
night.
super impressive.
Coming across.
That's scary.
And there you are.
And the stats.
There we go.
Hey.
Yeah, if you can make me as big as possible, that'd be brilliant. Yeah. Make me 6'2" and ideal.
Oh, there's like shooting as well on a Canon 1500. Yeah, 1500D. Interesting.
And make me better looking while you're there. Yeah. That is so cool.
This is because I'm looking. I'm just going. Oh, it's just a photo, isn't it? No, it's been.
You can go in even deeper if you go like right in there.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's
Highlight all my
insane.
insecurities if you want to.
There you go. You'll dream about this, right?
I was
Yeah,
finding stuff
absolutely.
super interesting.
That's unbelievable, though. Even like in the 5-minute version, that's incredible. No, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
There it
There
is.
you are again.
Which leaves one obvious thing to ask.
So do you have any idea when we can expect it? When it might be coming?
Look, early access will definitely be within a short period.
Okay.
And defining a short period is hard because we're waiting until we have a complete competition, whether that's Premiership, URC, and we have a number of women's teams.
Ah, so it looks like here that Ross is saying that Rugby 24, when they have a complete full league of licensing, whichever league that is first, that's when they'll start releasing it, maybe. But also says here about women's as well. So let's just go back slightly.
URC, and we have a number of women's teams, and we have a number of men's national sides. So I think in the first early access, the national sides will play second fiddle to having a competition.
Sure.
Because we need completeness so that people can play seasons, play as their local clubs.
Right.
Because we actually have over 140 nations contracted.
Wow. Okay.
Like everybody.
Is that
Like everybody.
nations or national? So you can't say the men's and women's teams separate.
No, no,
Is
no.
that-
So
so different nations.
it's 140 nations.
Wow. Okay.
Right, which potentially is 280 teams, but it's not because the women's don't go
Sure.
that deep.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can have an expectation that if there's a women's team in the Six Nations, we're going to have them.
Oh, damn.
If there's the men's teams in the Six Nations, we're going to have them. But it goes as deep as 140.
Wow,
So
okay.
it was that thing where it's like, okay, so previous games had 5 teams, 6 teams each. I
Yeah.
just wanted to absolutely blow it out of the water.
Yeah,
and go, no. We're going to have all of them. Now, the problem
Wow.
with that is it takes a lot of time.
Exactly.
We're
Yeah,
on the
I
road
thought so.
forever. We've already been on the road for weeks, but it's got months to go.
Interesting there, Ross is saying months to go, which is, I mean, makes sense, but interesting. Because the one thing I find interesting here, right, and it's just kind of just, you know, what I'm liking from Ross and kind of what I'm like the excitement here is the fact that he seems to be someone who really wants to make the best rugby game possible, but also at the same time, he's like, we don't want to kind of like half-ass the game where, hey, like, you know, we only have some licensing like we've seen with Rugby 22 and Rugby Challenge. So, you know, I don't know what this means for Rugby Challenge, but, you know, I'm excited though. Like, this is like, you know, I mean, if I ever got to, you know, have a chat with Ben, Matt, it's not EK Software. This is Ross. My bad, Ross. I mean, if I ever had the opportunity to chat with Ross, then yeah, I'd definitely like be intrigued about like how does it all work. Like for me, I find that stuff super interesting. Like I find it interesting in terms of, you know, how do you even get the licensing? Do you know when it expires? Is there exclusivity? All that stuff, because I find that really interesting. But no, this is it sounds like this game could be the game, you know?
Just to get the content.
Yeah.
So, yeah, people have been patient. They're going to need to be more patient. And I think it'll be worth it in the end.
Yeah.
This is a big job because it's the first time it's ever been done. No one's ever done this, ever. Like, there's no World Cup that's gone to this depth because they only focus on those nations that qualify.
Yeah, of course.
Right, so
yeah.
we're actually going so deep that you know, it's no one's ever visited this many clubs in the world. Like, seriously.
It's something to say to the grave. It's something to tell the grandkids. There's
Yeah.
more rugby clubs than anyone else. You know, yeah, like a month-long
140
period.
plus extra, 140 plus separate bloody contracts.
Wow.
Is a day rugby fans have long since dreamt of. While still not be a hard date on when we can expect to be putting Rugby 24 into our various consoles and PCs and that, it's shaping up to at the very least be the most comprehensive rugby video game ever made. Hundreds of teams, dozens of modes, a passion project spearheaded by those who
What did it say there? We don't have any idea of how many modes.
passion
there's been
project spearheaded by those who stared into the middle distance, dreaming of Tom Roebuck with us in the years gone by, now given an incredible chance to set it right, to do the thing we all dreamt of, one member of the crowd at a time.
And that's it. Interesting. Very interesting. So what we can kind of take away from this is that the reason why the game's been delayed obviously has been due to, maybe not due to licensing, but it's been due to, we've got the license, but we need to find time to kind of capture the content and kind of see where they're going with this early access, where they physically kind of have to kind of like, they don't want to, I mean, by the sounds of it, they don't really want to just give us a quick demo of the game. They kind of want certain sections to be complete. My only concern or question would be is that if we were to have this early access, how long is early access for? You know, like, could the game be in early access for a year? I don't know, but I'm very intrigued by that. But yeah, what do you guys think? This video was amazing. Shout out to SquidgeRugby for putting it together and all that stuff. Found it super interesting. But yeah, what do you guys think? I'm excited. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I love the behind the scenes. Like, this is kind of what I've been after and wanting from any kind of rugby franchise for a while. Like, even like if someone said to us, hey guys, we're currently in month 1 of 9, awesome. Like, those updates, but I don't know if they can or not, but like, it seems like they can here. But like, for me, just posting that just really connects with the community, But anyway, guys, what do you guys think? I thought this was amazing. Like I said, I'll leave a link down below if you do want to check out the full video about me kind of reacting. But anyway, guys, if you have enjoyed today's video, don't be sure a massive thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, comment your thoughts regarding this. But anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching, and as always in my next video, adios, chaps, boom.
And her boat is not in her. She's a diamond. the right